y'all doing? Ready to get some writing done? I am Marisela Barrera, and I'm a writer and performer here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm also a teaching artist with Gemini Ink, and I'm so happy that you found us here today. Don't forget to follow Gemini Ink on all your social media platforms. What we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is write a performative memoir. So what does that mean? Performative implies that we're performing for somebody other than ourselves. Memoir means we're sharing a story that means something. Put those together and you're telling a story about your life that had some significance. Why do we write memoir? We write memoir in order to remember. We write memoir in order to archive our lives because our stories are important. We write memoir so that we could have a sense of connection and build community. We're not alone. Sometimes the hardest part of writing is coming up with an idea. So I want you to come up with an idea and think about a significant moment in your life. It could be recent, it could be well in your memory, but I want you to bring that memory to life. And I'm going to give you some time to go off, maybe make a PB&J, maybe take a walk, and think about it. What significant event in your life do you want to write about? Why don't you pause this video and we'll be back once you have an idea. We're back. All right, you have your idea? You have your significant event that you want to write about? I hope so. I thought about mine. I want to write about the 6 different houses that I've lived at in San Antonio. I've lived in Woodlawn Lake. I lived in Northwest San Antonio. I lived in the South Side. I lived in La Vaca, I lived downtown, and now I live in Dignity Hill. So I want to write about that. Moving. That's what I want to write about. What do you want to write about? Now that you have your significant event, I want you to think about what happened. Who, what, when, where, why. We're sort of like a reporter for ourselves. And make a list. 1, what happened? Doesn't need to be complete sentences. You could write down some phrases, whatever comes to mind. What happened during this significant event? Go for it. Place is so important for a writer. So I want you to think about where your significant event took place. I want you to go ahead and make a list of a few significant details about this place. What did it look like? Where was it? Go. All right, now that you have an idea of what happened, you have an idea of where your story took place, I want you now to think about characters in your story. So you need to give us details about your character's appearance, maybe details about how your character walks, maybe their favorite foods, anything you could think of. And yes, you can make up some details if there's some little bit of truth in it, if you don't know for sure. Have fun. Go for it. Now you have your significant event, you have some details about it. You have details about place, you have details about character, who's involved in your story, and now we're going to shift. And I want you to think about why this event is significant. What did you learn from this significant event? As a writer, we think about maybe sharing ourselves, exposing ourselves so that our audience can also reflect on our own lives. So think about it. Why is this event significant to you? Why don't you go ahead and press pause, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Wow, you've done a lot of work. You've thought about a significant event in your life. You've infused it with some details that included place and character, and you also wrote about why it's significant for you. Good job. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, and trust your memory, because your memory lives within your huesos, your sangre. It lives within us, that memory. And if you want to ask somebody that maybe knows a little bit about your event as well, you might want to have a talk with that person, might help. That's called a little bit of research that sometimes we do as writers to get a sort of full scope of the story. At the end of your story, you can think about the significance and maybe bring it into your present day life and reflect on it. Remember, this is a performative memoir. It's essentially like a first person monologue, and it's about an event that is significant to you. Nowadays, it's so important to reflect on our lives. It's a moment to take some time to slow down. It's important to write our feelings because it's important to archive this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, writers. So let's archive this moment in time. And thank you for following me on this performative memoir journey. This is part 1. Part 2 is going to teach you how to translate this performative memoir into a podcast that you could share with an audience. I hope you'll join me. Take care.